Welcome to boys district final basketball class C1. We are at Elkhorn South High School tonight. It is the Lincoln Christian Crusaders, the third seed in class C1, and they're going up against the 14 seed, the Fort Calhoun Pioneers. I'm Keith Miles along with Coach Kurt Earl, and we are here for one more basketball game, and it's win or go home. The winner goes to state and the loser goes home. No more wild cards in district final action.
That's right. It's a little different than it used to be, and that brings a little extra excitement and enthusiasm to this game. It's just a different deal, but it's fun. And, of course, it's been a fun week for me as the AD. Been all over the place cheering these guys on and the girls, too, so it's a great time.
So what do you expect tonight from Lincoln Christian? A quick turnaround. They played Thursday night and beat Malcolm for the sub-district final.
Yeah, I think we've seen bursts of them over the last few weeks where they play extremely well with some aggression and some reckless abandon and with some confidence. And if we see that for a full game, I think they're as good as anybody. So hopefully we can see that.
And for Fort Calhoun, they come off probably their biggest win of the season. They beat Boys Town on Thursday night to win their sub-district. And that was a 57-45 12-point win for the Pioneers. So we should have a good matchup. And we had a chance to talk with Coach Gary Nunley about tonight's game, and we'll hear from him in just a minute. So hang on. All right, we're here today with Coach Gary Nunley as we get ready for our district final, the Lincoln Christian Crusaders and the Fort Calhoun Pioneers just about to tip off. And Gary, first let's go back and just talk a little bit about sub-districts.
Sure, yeah. Well, I'd even go back, if I can, just our last three regular season games and getting to play at Norris and getting to play Kearney Catholic and Bishop Newman. That level of opponent at the end of the season really helped prepare us for postseason play. And I think our guys really took that mentality and really embraced the challenge of those three teams. So we're thankful for that. And then got into sub-districts and, probably a little bit better than Raymond Central and probably a little bit better than Malcolm. But at the same time, you still got to go out and earn it. And you got to go out and win it. And I felt like against Raymond Central, we struggled a little bit early. Really didn't play very well in the first half. Weren't really sharp. And I felt like in the second half we came out and we were really sharp. So we challenged our guys to come out better against Malcolm, and I thought we really came out well against Malcolm, played a great first half, and then I thought we were a little sluggish there in the third quarter. In the first, second, and fourth quarters we scored 19 or 20 points in each of those and only scored, I think it was 6 or 7 in that third. So they ran some junk at us, and that was actually really good for us. I'm surprised more people haven't done that, and so that gives us a chance to get a little bit better at that, and in case somebody would do that down the road.
And you talked about the strong end to the regular season, and you've since if you want to go back to New Year's Day, you've only lost one game in the last couple of months. Yeah. So do you feel like your team is peaking at the right time?
I do. I definitely do. And again, especially when you look at just our level of competition, and again, I know I'm singling out those last 3 games, and there were plenty of other tough teams along the road, but to have those 3 back to back to back, we had to play at a high level. And so we've shown some glimpses of that in subs. We need to just continue to raise our level here as we go into Fort Calhoun.
And yeah, now you've got a very quick turnaround. You play on Thursday night, and then turn around and play on Saturday, and play a team you haven't played before. So how do you get ready for Fort Calhoun?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think at this point in the year, you've again with the schedule that we've played, we've gotten ready for any style of opponent. And Fort Calhoun, I would imagine they'll come out and play quite a bit of 3-2, and they've also played some man. Who knows? Maybe they'll do something different. But that's the big thing, is that we want to be ready to execute against whatever they do defensively. And frankly, we just want our best to be better than their best.
Mm-hmm. And Fort Calhoun, their sub-district, they played a couple of very familiar opponents, Omaha Concordia and Boys Town, and go back and look at that film. Does that help you in preparing?
Yeah, it does a little bit. They beat Concordia by just a point, and early in the year they'd gotten beat by Concordia, and then of course they beat Boys Town by 12, which was a fantastic win for them. So I'm sure they feel great about it, and they feel good about the direction they're headed. And man, they do a really good job of attacking the basket hard. They're really aggressive, and so we got to work really hard to keep them out of the paint and limit those post touches. And then on the offensive end, just get quality possessions.
Mm-hmm. And talk a little bit about your bench at this point in the season. I mean, you've got your established starters, but you got several guys that come off the bench and give you some quality minutes and points.
Yeah, definitely. Jonas comes off and fills in at the post for us. And I mean, he's just a tough-nosed kid. He works really hard. And he rebounds for us and defends. He understands his role. And then Gunner comes off at the guard, and Gunner was really upped his defense the last half of the season. Honestly, that's the reason that he's been able to play a little bit more for us, just because of that level of defense. And then he shoots the ball pretty well from the perimeter, and he's knocked down some key three-pointers for us. So that's been important. And then Gage Holden, a sophomore, has started to play a little bit more in the last few games, and that really comes down to his defensive effort. And man, he's just a tough-nosed kid. He's got a nose for the ball, and he flat gets after it. And then Colby Schleckerbeer has played a little bit for us here and there, and Colby shoots the ball really well. He's a senior. Again, he's really embraced his role and brought great leadership for us, regardless, how much he's played. And so that's been really important for us as well.
Mm-hmm. And now, again, district final, so it's win or go home for everybody. No wild cards for state anymore. But how do you get your guys not to look past this? It's a 3 versus 14 matchup, and not to look past it and say, well, we already got this.
I don't think we approach it that way at all. We don't talk about seeds. Our guys don't really look at seeds. They're excited to go earn a championship, and they understand that. Even a week ago, as we went into subs and talk about the fact that number one, you got to take one game at a time, and we respect all and fear none. And I think our guys have really bought into that. And then the second thing is, you got to go and you got to do your job. And one job isn't more important than another. My job isn't any more important than what Noah does for us as student manager. It really isn't. But we all have roles. We all have our jobs to do, and that's just like the body of Christ. And we work better when we work together and we embrace our roles. And our guys have really bought into that. And then third, you want to win a championship at some point, you're going to have to stiffen your spine and not respond to officials and not respond poorly to adversity, but to embrace that and continue to go out and execute on the offensive end and work hard to get defensive stops.
Hi, I'm Trey Pittenger.
I'm Sherry Pittenger.
Our kids are Macy, Lexi, Cruz, and Vivi.
What I love about Lincoln Christian is that the biblical truths that they are learning about at school daily are the same values that we're teaching at home.
What I would say to families considering Lincoln Christian is it's not only an investment in your children, but what you will learn is that you will grow in your faith right alongside them.
Hi, I'm Zach Castlebaum. I'm the superintendent at Lincoln Christian School, and I just want to thank you for the opportunity and the privilege and the blessing it is to partner with you in raising your children in the Lord. As you know, the most important thing we do at Lincoln Christian School is train children in a biblical worldview. We want to thank you just for the many ways that you come alongside us in prayer, in the way that you sacrifice your time, your energy, and your resources to help make this happen, all to the glory of God. We have neat things taking place both inside the classroom and outside the classroom, as we've seen continued growth and more students walking the hallway than ever before at Lincoln Christian School. It's a great opportunity as we get to speak truth into these students and as we get to come alongside and walk with families such as yourself. As we look into the 2020-21 school year, it looks like once again that we may have an all-time high in enrollment, which means for us a chance for impact, a chance to come alongside families and again speak truth and teach about the world through looking at God's Word and what He has to say about it, and understanding that all of our identities is found in Christ. Again, we just thank you for your time, your energy, your resources, and all the things you do to make it possible to provide the education we are able to do at Lincoln Christian School. Thank you.
Thank you for supporting us and watching the Crusader Sports Network.
My name is Mrs. Lorenzen, and I teach 6th grade at Lincoln Christian School. My favorite season is spring, my favorite holiday is Christmas, and my favorite school supplies are pens, flare pens, gel pens, anything colorful. I love many things about teaching 6th grade. I really enjoy watching the students develop in their relationships with each other. I enjoy watching them develop a deeper understanding through all content in their curriculum and understanding. And I also really enjoy watching them as they grow with Christ and use discernment to filter worldview through biblical truth.
Hi, I'm Jill Ballard. I'm the Director of Admissions and Communications for Lincoln Christian, and thank you for watching the Crusader Sport Network.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Elkhorn South High School for tonight's Class C13 District Championship, where the winner of tonight's game gets an automatic berth to the state tournament in 2 weeks. Tonight's game will feature the Pioneers from Fort Calhoun and the Lincoln Christian Crusaders. And now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem will be played by the Lincoln Christian Pep Band. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Elkhorn South High School for tonight's Class C13 District Championship between the Fort Calhoun Pioneers and the Lincoln Christian Crusaders. We'd like to welcome all the great basketball fans from both schools to tonight's contest. And as a reminder to all the fans, the high school athletic competition presents the opportunity for both the athletes and the fans to demonstrate good sportsmanship. Good sportsmanship doesn't begin and end on the court, it also occurs in the bleachers. We encourage all fans to have fun tonight and cheer loudly for your team, but don't cheer against the opposing team, coaches, and officials. Let's all be great sports. Here's the lamps for tonight's game. First, for the non-starters, for the Pioneers of Fort Calhoun. Number 10, Harrison Smith. Number 15, Owen Newell. Number
right, we are ready to go. The district final should be a great game. Justin Bubach will jump center along with Brant Hilzendegger. And we are underway from Elkhorn South and not Fillmore Central. How many times am I going to say that tonight? Fort Calhoun. It's another FC. It's Fort Calhoun. They control the tip. And that is number 33, Carson Schwartz. Two of the Schwartz brothers that start for Fillmore Central. And they try to get it inside. And back around, Crusaders look like they're starting in the man. Back outside, that is Tyler Strauss with it. Comes back over to Schwartz.
You'll notice we've got Easton Marshbanks on number 12, and I think that's a strategic move here. I don't think 12 shot too many threes this year.
Ball on the line. It'll go over to Lincoln Christian, so good defense by the Crusaders.
Really good start, just staying patient and playing good D and waiting for them to make a mistake. Good job there.
Crusaders come in at 20-4, and the Pioneers come in at 16-8 on the season. Both of them off a district final or a sub-district final win on Thursday night. Lincoln Christian over Malcolm and Fort Calhoun over Boys Town. That's Bubach. Cross court to McGear. And looks like the Pioneers starting in a zone. Bubach from the elbow, and he's got it.
Looks like a 2-3 zone, and Justin loves to catch that with his back to the basket, turn around and quick get that off. He does a great job of that shot.
Crusaders up. Just over a minute gone in this game. And Strauss is trapped, gets it back outside. There's a three on the way. Missed, and the rebound comes down to Buchelman. That was Hilzendegger who missed the shot.
Probably just what Coach Nunnally wants right there.
Here's Carlson from the corner. He misses, and the long rebound comes down to Carson Schwartz. And here's a long three on the way, and that one is no good. Buchelman with another rebound. That's Zane Schwartz who missed it. Inside to Carlson, up and under the basket, and not quite strong enough, and then a foul on the rebound. And who are they going to give that to? They're going to give it to Marshbanks.
Too bad on the miss right there. I've noticed over the last few weeks, Drew Buchelman's really become a great passer. It seems like he's made a lot of good passes. It's fun to see that.
And one of the keys to being a good passer is to have good vision down court, right?
That's right, yep.
And right down the middle and up. No foul. And the rebound comes down to Carlson. I thought there was some contact there, but no foul.
Yeah, nicely executed, give and go type of situation there. Fort Calhoun probably should have picked up another foul on Easton. Thankfully for us, that's not how they called it.
And the Crusaders had a bit of a breakaway there, but a tipped ball out of bounds, so Lincoln Christian will play it in under their bucket. They lob into Marshbanks, and he gets it back outside. McGear will reset. Inside to Bubach. And he comes back out now in the corner. Buchelman is open, and he hits the three.
Speaking of Drew getting better at things, I think he's become a better shooter over the last month of the season, too. He's been a great player.
And we'll see. You hit some corner threes, why that may change the Fort Calhoun defense.
Yeah, I know they're predominantly a zone team. That's all the players and coaches mentioned to me was their zone scheme. So that'll be interesting to see what they do if we hit a few jump shots.
That's Strauss in the corner. He launches one. No good, but an offensive rebound comes down to Schwartz. Bounces back to Strauss, and Marshbanks is going to get his second foul.
Easton lost sight of his man a little bit there and had to recover late, but they want to let 12 shoot those jumpers. I don't think he shot more than 10 or 15 all season, so we're okay with that.
Jonas Berger is going to come in for Marshbanks, and we'll see how Jonas can go tonight because he twisted his ankle just less than 48 hours ago on Thursday night.
Right, and I think yesterday he probably would have been listed officially as doubtful, but he's made a great recovery. He's a tough kid and one of the better competitors I've been around in a long time. He loves to compete.
Strauss misses the first free throw, hits the second, and the Pioneers are on the board. And they put on some pressure now, but Bubach has it quickly into the front court. And no good on the shot, and the rebound comes down to Schwartz, Zane Schwartz.
Nice job defending that. Cut down his angle and made him shoot it from a tough spot and went up without getting a foul. That was a good job by Fort Calhoun.
And back outside to Zane Schwartz from Carson Schwartz. Hilzendegger. And back to Carson Schwartz. Tries to go in between the defenders and scores. Nice move by Schwartz, and he's got the first field goal for the Pioneers. Here comes McGear into the front court. Dishes off to Bubak. He tries the three and is short. Just grazes the front of the rim.
Yeah. I think it was like a 2-1-2, three-quarter court press there, and forced us to shoot maybe a little quicker than we would like, and that's exactly what they want. So we got to be poised in that situation.
And Schwartz with the long three, misses. Good defense by Strauss, almost knocked it out of Berger's hands, but Lincoln Christian retains possession. They're up by 2. We're halfway through this first quarter. And I want to say thanks to the Lincoln Christian School Foundation. They're our sponsor for all these postseason games. Buchelman open on the near side. And again, those missed threes, sometimes you got a long rebound, and here goes Strauss. And he is up and in, and we got a tie game.
Tell you what, so far I'm very impressed with Fort Calhoun sort of forcing us into their style of ball. They've done a great job executing what looks like their game plan.
Strauss picks up the foul. First subs of the game for Lincoln Christian. It's, second subs because we had Jonas come in a bit ago, but now it's Gage Holen and Gunnar Dworak on the floor. So you've got those two guys along with McGear, Bubak, and Berger.
And Gunnar, Gage, Jonas, Colby at times have provided some really good minutes off the bench in a number of ways down the stretch too. That's part of what's helped us finish strong.
And there's a steal and then a foul by Holen. The pass was maybe tipped a little bit, and Gage just couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, one of those situations. Good effort foul there. You're not going to give him a free layup, and worth the effort. And tough one to give, but it's a good one.
3 team fouls on the Crusaders, just 1 on the Pioneers. Schwartz just inside the three-point line. He misses, and the long rebound comes down to McGear. And wisely he holds up, lets the defense go by, and then races to the basket. And Bubak with the putback.
Good strong take by Gavin. Nothing wrong with that. And great offensive rebound by Justin to finish it up there. Clearly Schwartz wants to shoot it a lot. The key will be just to keep a hand in his face all night and hopefully force him to shoot a low percentage overall.
Zane Schwartz averages 12.5 a game. That's Carson Schwartz, and then he throws it away. And Ashton Carlson is back in for Lincoln Christian. Pioneers going to put on some pressure. 8 finals in the each class, D2 all the way up through B. In Class C1, just 3 of the 8 are going on tonight, and the other 5 either Monday or Tuesday, so we won't know. Whoever wins today is going to have to wait a few days to see who they play in the state. And McGear all the way to the basket. How did he get through those defenders?
That's a nice job. Gavin probably doesn't even believe in himself enough sometimes going to the rim. He can really take it to the rim well. That was a good job there.
That foul goes on Hilzendager. That'll be his first. And McGear will try to complete the three-point play.
Keith, you mentioned if we were to win, we really won't know everything until Wednesday morning sometime, and that's a lot different than the girls' situation.
Right. Yeah, I think people could figure that out by about 10:30 last night, what was going to happen. And the Crusader girls will have a rematch with Malcolm next Thursday morning at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. And there's an open 3 from the corner, missed, and the rebound fortunately comes down to the Crusaders. So kind of an odd hop off the rim. And Dworak ends up with it, and now Carlson poked away as they try to feed it into Bubak. And Ashton, top of the key, hits it.
That's a big 3 for us. The more we can make them respect the 20-foot jumper, the better off we'll be against that zone. And their coach takes a timeout, probably wise at this juncture.
So a quick timeout for Fort Calhoun, and they are down 13-5. Crusaders, again, glad to have you along for our broadcast tonight. It's brought to you by the Lincoln Christian School Foundation. Through a gift to the Lincoln Christian School Foundation, you can be a part of shaping students' hearts and minds with God's truth, developing relationships, being in our school community, students maximizing their God-given potential, and lives being transformed to be a light and impact our community. Will you invest in the truth, relationships, excellence, and transformation at Lincoln Christian School? We hope you can help us. All you have to do to make an impact by giving a monthly gift or a one-time gift, just text the word foundation to 402-488-8888. and we will get back to you and let you know how you can help. Otherwise, if you really want to talk to a live person, call that same number, and you can talk to either Mark Powell or Stacy Allison, and they will set you up. So, again, the foundation been doing a lot of things between the family education grant and the facilities. They have been busy, and we've still got more facilities on the drawing board.
That's right. I try to keep them as busy as possible on the activities end, that's for sure. It's been a fun time. A lot of growth in facilities, but a lot of growth in the quality of the education we bring and all kinds of stuff. It's been fun to watch the growth over my time here at Lincoln Christian for sure.
Out of the timeout, Crusaders are up by 8, and it was 5-5, so that's an 8-0 run for Lincoln Christian.
Yeah, and the last 3 being that 20-foot jumper by Ashton. That's a big deal. Got to knock a few of those down early.
And the ball off the foot and out of bounds. Another turnover by the Pioneers.
Yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say momentum's a powerful thing at any level, but especially in a high school game of this magnitude for these guys. And it's really starting to swing here a bit for us. Hopefully we can finish that off through the quarter and finish strong here.
Well, and the game Thursday night against Malcolm, obviously Malcolm's not the same quality of an opponent as Fort Calhoun, but the Crusaders had a real surge at the end of each of the first, second, and third quarters.
Yeah. Yep, and just momentum plays, and the ball couldn't miss, right? And you get some steals, and it's funny how that works that way.
Crusaders patient now. Into McGear, and he's a little bit too far under, goes up and just misses the shot, but tracks down his own rebound. There's Dorick from the corner, and that one is in and out. And the rebound comes down to Hilzendegger.
If we keep hitting jumpers and we can find people on the block or under the rim like that, that's exactly what you want against a team that's trying to spread you out a little bit with their zone.
Got a good crowd here tonight on both sides of the gym. Fort Calhoun actually a few miles closer than Lincoln Christian to Elkhorn South, but not far for either team. Some schools in district finals have a long ways to travel today or next Monday or Tuesday, and we were fortunate to have a nice drive up here to Elkhorn for the game.
Yeah, we were fortunate twice. The girls' game was even closer last night.
And there's a step back 3 by Schwartz. He stood there, thought about it, and Buchelman kind of gave him space, and then he hits it. And then a turnover on the other end.
This is an important possession here with less than 10 seconds to go. We got to get a stop.
And a nice move by Schwartz. And that is a big basket for Fort Calhoun. That brings them back within. And they say no foul. Dorick ran into the defender, but no foul. And so after 1, the Crusaders lead it by 3.
Hi, I'm Zach Castlebaum. I'm the superintendent at Lincoln Christian School, and I just want to thank you for the opportunity and the privilege and the blessing it is to partner with you in raising your children in the Lord. As we look into the 2020-21 school year, it looks like once again that we may have an all-time high in enrollment, which means for us a chance for impact, a chance to come alongside families and again speak truth and teach about the world through looking at God's Word and what He has to say about it, and understanding that all of our identities is found in Christ. Again, we just thank you for your time, your energy, your resources, and all the things you do to make it possible to provide the education we are able to do at Lincoln Christian School. Thank you.
Back for the second quarter, and the Crusaders had a flurry. They went on an 8-0 run, and then the Pioneers come back with a 5-0 run to close the gap. So they got to be feeling a lot better than they did at that timeout they took a couple minutes ago.
Definitely, and I mentioned momentum just right before that because I felt like we had the momentum. Fort Calhoun did an excellent job of keeping their composure, continuing to execute, and got the momentum back. So these first 2 minutes will really say something about the rest of this game probably.
Lincoln Christian starts the period with the possession. Up by 3, second quarter. Buchelman, I thought he was going to shoot that 3. He drives in and then kind of lost the ball. I don't know if he was trying to pass off or what, but turnover gives it back to the Pioneers. Marshbank's back on the floor with those 2 fouls. Yeah, and it looks kind of odd with Marshbanks guarding number 12, Strauss. There's about a foot difference in height. But
it really is. That's exactly why, though. I think he would rather go to the rim. And we're willing to let Strauss do that and just let Easton play straight up.
And then Strauss picks up the foul. That is his second. So he's going to come to the bench. And in the game now is Grant Halford. Here comes Bubak with the ball into the front court. Crusaders have their starters on the floor. Into Marshbanks down low, feeds to Carlson. He waits for the defenders to go past him and then gets fouled on the way up.
That was so good. That is just how you want it. Cutting through the zone, getting it to the short corner like that. Great job by Easton keeping his eyes up and seeing that coming. Ashton with the patience to draw the foul and not get it rejected. That's good ball.
Zane Swartz picks up the foul. That's his first, fourth team foul. Carlson hits the first. And for Ashton now, he's got 4 points tonight. Balanced scoring for the Crusaders in that first quarter, which is what you want. You had 4 guys score.
Right, and I think that's one of the things that can really make us dangerous. If we can really keep that balance going, we keep coming at you from every angle.
Lincoln Christian up by 5. And a travel called on Thurkildson. Thanks for joining us tonight on the Lincoln Christian Crusaders Sports Network here on Strive TV. This will be our last basketball broadcast of the season. State tournament games coming up for the girls this week, boys next week. And you'll still have a chance to see those games. And then pass goes one way and the player, McGear, went the other way. So,
yeah, Justin just relying on his athleticism a little bit too much. It's always dangerous to pass the ball with your feet off the ground, and got to be careful with those.
Crusaders stay in that man defense. Schwartz with it to Schwartz. Zane to Carson. That's Hilzendegger and back to Carson Schwartz. Or excuse me, Zane Schwartz. I'm going to get them mixed up all night. 21 is Zane and 33 is Carson. Pioneers will reset. And Schwartz leaves it short. And then the rebound out of bounds off Fort Calhoun, comes back to LCS.
Nice job by Drew there, just staying straight up and forcing Schwartz to hit the touch shot there.
So as the activities director, I know you had to line up a place to play. Did you also have to line up officials, or how does that work?
No, that's beyond me at this point. I think the state takes care of all of that and works in conjunction with the host site for that. So location, yes.
Yep.
But no, not on the officials.
Bubak drives baseline, and no foul called, and the ball goes over to Fort Calhoun. Carson Schwartz with it. Now that's Zane Schwartz right in front of the LCS Crusader Crazies. Hilzendegger, and the foul is going to go on Bubak. That's his first. And I think Gary Nunley will take that Justin played the first 11 minutes of the game without picking up a foul.
That's right. He certainly will. And good chance to give him a little breather here, probably bring him back in for the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Crusaders bring in Jonas Berger and Gunnar Dworick. Just 2 points here in this quarter. Lincoln Christian with a bucket and nothing on the other, or 2 free throws actually by Carlson. No points for Fort Calhoun since the break.
Yeah, and it was going back and forth pretty good there for a little bit, so it's really changed in terms of the pace of the scoring.
Down low, Hilzendegger goes up on Dworick. Looks like he got hit in the eye maybe on that.
Yeah, caught the off shooting elbow there, but great job again, straight up. Make them make the bucket. Make them prove they can do that before you start trying to block things.
McGear spins in, then goes right back out to Carlson, who's open. And that one banks in.
That's more really good zone offense. McGear broke towards the ball from the far corner, forced the zone to sink down on him in the middle of the court and kicked it back out. That's just what you want.
Ashton Carlson now with 8 points in the game. And that's an 8-point lead for LCS. They get it inside to Hilzendegger. And stripped away by Carlson.
Ashton's had himself a good 5 minutes or so here with some points and some good D and doing some good things.
Buchelman looks inside, then back to Carlson, tries another 3, and hits another one.
And he's adding to it. You got to love it when you see a young man really feeling the confidence in a situation like that. That's fun for a senior for sure.
And that'll be a timeout for the Pioneers. They took a timeout and were down by 8 in the first, and now they're down by 11 this time around. So again, our sponsor for tonight's game, the Lincoln Christian School Foundation. Through the generous giving of others, partnering with the Lincoln Christian School Foundation, we have raised over $6 million for the current capital campaign, Raising Leaders in Truth. If you're interested on how you can help or would like an update on what we're raising money for, expanded facilities and the family education grant, all you have to do is text the word foundation to 402-488-8888. One of the neat things on the foundation or the facilities drawing board is the Shields Activity Center. We have a nice gift commitment from Shields. We have to go out and raise some matching funds, but that would be, I don't have to tell you how important it would be to have another gym for practices, and it would be a wrestling room and some other things as well. Weight room, probably.
Yeah, I think weight room might be one of the things that ranks up near the top of the list. And lots of exciting things ahead. And when the Lord decides it's time for that to happen, it will. But we're certainly ready for that and have plans in place.
And a missed shot by Halford, and the rebound to Dworak. Here we go. Under 4 minutes to go before halftime. Crusaders with the ball, double-digit lead. And we built up that lead with Justin Bubach sitting on the bench, so that's a good sign as well.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Anytime you can take off with an all-state player sitting down, getting a breather, and you build a lead, that's exactly what you want. And I would expect, he is checking in right here. He's already at the table. I was going to say, I'd expect him to be in next dead ball.
Carlson launches another three, and that one's a bit off, but a good rebound by Gavin McGear. Buchelman will try a three, and that one is off, but another offensive rebound.
Two guards getting rebounds in that zone. That's another key to being successful against the zone D is finding those little rebounds like that because they're available more than against a man-to-man.
Dworak snags that over on the far side. And a long two from Ashton Carlson.
Great handful of minutes here from Ashton and really showing that he can shoot and be a scorer. And sometimes he's doing more of the pure point guard stuff, but he certainly has that capability too.
In this quarter, it's Ashton Carlson 10, Fort Calhoun nothing.
That's exactly right.
He's got all 10 points, and Fort Calhoun has yet to score.
He's got a steal as well, and some other teammates doing some things too.
Back outside to Zane Schwartz. Nice little spin move in the lane, but he leaves the basketball short. But then an offensive rebound and an easy basket for Hilsendager.
Big credit to Fort Calhoun there. We tipped the ball several times. They kept fighting. We kept fighting. That's good composure by them. A lot of times a possession like that ends up in a turnover or something. They did a good job getting a bucket out of it.
And now McGear drives baseline, goes up, has it blocked out of bounds. Giving up a few inches height on that.
Yeah. Maybe come with a ball fake next time, but still set the tempo and set the standard that he's going to come bring it to that block if you don't stop him, and that's good. That's good.
Justin Bubach back in along with Gage Holen and Easton Marshbanks, so they join Ashton Carlson and Gunnar Dworak on the floor, and a tipped pass. And good job by Dworak to stay out of foul trouble, but then Bubach steals it on the other end. Carlson drives in, and a blocking foul goes on. That's on Strauss. That's 3.
Yeah.
And just 5 team fouls altogether, but Strauss has 3 of them.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. That was an effort foul. Nothing he did wrong there. It just kind of happens sometimes. Too bad he picks up his 3rd, but it's just a couple minutes here, and they'll probably get him back in to start the half.
Inside to Bubach in the lane, goes up, puts one up, leaves it a bit short. And here come the Pioneers. They've got 2 minutes. What they want to do is get this thing down to 5-6 points before halftime and feel comfortable going into the locker room that they can come back. And Marshbanks and Schwartz wrestling on the rebound there, and they're going to call it a jump ball. It will stay with the Pioneers.
Proud of Easton there as a sophomore being physical like that. He's a big guy, but still mentally as a sophomore to battle like that, that's a good job by him fighting for that ball.
That ball tipped by Carlson, but the Pioneers keep it. Schwartz now drives, baseline, goes up, and draws the foul on Marshbanks. So good move for Schwartz to go right down the baseline, and he will go to the free throw line, and Easton picks up his 3rd foul. So each team just 5 team fouls, but a player with 3 fouls on each side. Schwartz hits the first free throw.
With Strauss out and Easton out, could be interesting to see how teams might do things a little differently defensively. We've thrown in the 1-3-1 zone at times just to throw a curveball at people. You could potentially see that coming here to finish up the half.
Schwartz hits both free throws, and it's 23-14, back down to 9. Crusaders led at 23-10 just a minute or two ago. Carlson into the front court, inside to Bubak in traffic, and it's stolen away. A lot of traffic there trying to force that pass inside.
Yeah, and at this point, a lot of little contact is being let go by the officials, and you got to adjust to that. You know, it is what it is right now.
And how many times have you seen it where they're letting contact go in the first half, and then in the second half they start calling things closer?
Yeah, and I think that was close. I think every coach and player would say, we don't care how you call it as long as it's consistent. And when it changes, that's what's challenging.
That'll be Buchelman who picks up the foul, and the Pioneers back at the line, so they have a chance to cut further into the Crusader lead. This is Schwartz, who's right back at the line again, leaves that one well short. The atmosphere is fun tonight. Full house, a lot of students on both sides of the floor. And Schwartz goes 0 for 2, so Lincoln Christian dodges a bullet on that possession. Last minute of the half, and coming up at halftime, we're going to actually hear an interview that I did a few weeks ago with our new principal, Brent Ailes, although he's not so new anymore. I guess he's been around several months.
Yeah.
But I think he really enjoys it so far at LCS. Bubak up and under and scores.
Nice job using the rim sort of as a screen and getting his hand free to lay it up off the glass.
And that's the first basket by anybody not named Carlson in the second quarter for Lincoln Christian.
That's both a positive and maybe a little bit of a concern too, but he's been hot, so that's all right.
Right, and Justin has spent several minutes on the bench.
He
there.
did.
Then when he was ready to come in, there was no whistle for about a minute and a half.
That's
too,
right.
So.
Yep. It's been an interesting quarter. A lot of unique things.
Up and under, and a great move there by Carson Schwartz.
Final 8 seconds here.
Crusaders by 9, and they're trying to make more, and Bubak misses the shot, but he is fouled, so he'll go to the line. That was almost a carbon copy of the shot he had on the last possession.
It was, with a little double clutch, almost a very impressive finish, and Gavin with a great pass to slice it through there to get it to him on the baseline.
And that's a key foul. It's number 2 on Zane Schwartz. Justin gets the first. So the Crusaders want to put on a little pressure. Obviously, you don't want to pick up a foul because you put the Pioneers in the bonus, but put on a little pressure so they can't get a clean shot here.
2.4 is a lot longer time than most people think. That was perfect. Good job right there.
And a good shot, but it's no good. And at halftime, Lincoln Christian with an 11-point lead, 27-16. And if you're Coach Gary Nunley, what are you going to tell your troops in the locker room?
I think just consistency. Got to watch some turnovers. Got to stay away from certain situations when you pick up fouls. But more of the same and just being more consistent is all they really need to do.
All right, we're going to take a break. First, we're going to hear from Stacey Allison as she talks about the Cornerstone Giving Program and how you can participate in that. And then we'll hear our interview with LCS secondary principal Brent Ailes, and then come back for your second half.
I'm Stacey Allison, the Assistant Director of Stewardship and Advancement at Lincoln Christian School, and I'm excited to share with you a little bit about Cornerstone. Cornerstone is a way for you to join with the foundation in prayer and monthly giving, and it's a way for you to invest in students, families, and Lincoln Christian School. Cornerstone started a couple of years ago, and we're excited that we have many people participating in giving monthly and praying with us every month. We're looking for more people always to become a part of giving monthly to the Cornerstone Foundation. You can go online at any time to our giving page and join, or you're more than welcome to contact me. The great thing is every investment that's made monthly helps students to be able to attend Lincoln Christian through the Family Education Grant, and also is a way for us as a foundation to strategically prepare and continue to advance our campus. What's great about monthly giving is it allows us to count on that money and plan on that money so we can continue to do more things to impact more students, families, and the school in a greater capacity. I hope you'll consider Cornerstone as a way for you to be a part of making an impact at Lincoln Christian School.
Yeah, so this is year 16 in education for myself. I started out in the public sector with Lincoln Public Schools and spent 9 years as a 7th grade math teacher, and that was my love. And honestly, early on in my career, never even thought I would leave the classroom. I really enjoyed teaching math, enjoyed kind of the quirkiness of middle school and working with that age group. But God stirred my heart differently, and ended up going back, getting my master's in secondary administration. And so after 9 years in the classroom, transitioned out of the classroom and into an administrative role. And I spent 3 years after my classroom experience at the Bryan Focus program, which is the alternative high school here in Lincoln through Lincoln Public Schools. So that was my first administrative experience, and spent 3 years there, and then transitioned from there to Lincoln Southeast High School as associate principal for 3 more years. So this is my 7th year now in administration and first year here at Lincoln Christian. So that's a quick, brief background for me and kind of how I landed here at Lincoln Christian and some experiences that I've had. Family-wise, I have 3 daughters here in the building, junior, freshman, and 7th grader. And so I've got all 3 girls, a little bit outnumbered at home and then with my wife, Jamie, and a new dog that we added just about a year and a half ago, Maya. So it's me and the 4 ladies at home. But you know, can't complain. All great kids, and everything's going really well on the home front too. So just quick testimony for myself. Accepted Christ as personal Savior at a young age. When you can maybe think back and picture when you were younger and mom or dad is going to run an errand, and you think at that time it's still fun and entertaining or cool to jump in the car when they're going somewhere and ride along. So sitting there with my mom and started some conversation, and it was right there and at that moment that I decided to give my life to Christ, and so we prayed right there in the car, and it's you know, been a journey ever since. So to be really honest and frank, I never envisioned myself at Lincoln Christian. Once I got the position at Lincoln Southeast, I thought that's where I would be for the rest of my career. I was very happy, content there. Southeast was one of my top schools that I was desiring to be at, and the Lord worked out those details. And so I really thought I would stay in that position and finish my career there. God had different plans though, and honestly, through weeks, and I mean literally weeks of prayer and back and forth with my wife and my family, and conversation with some staff members I know here and other families that are in the building and have students here, just God wouldn't take it off my mind. And in my mind, I said no twice, that I wasn't even going to apply, quite honestly. Just wasn't even going to put my name in the ring, and would wake up the next morning after each of those moments, and God continued to put it on my heart, and just ultimately felt like, you know, He's not taking this away. That keeps coming back up. And so you know, the saying, I just wanted to be obedient, and thought, let's see what God does with this, and give it a shot, and here I am. So it's pretty crazy. Nothing I envisioned. How busy it is. You know, my previous stop, Lincoln Southeast, there's over 2,000 students there, and I thought I was busy there. And duties were a little different there. You spend a lot of time working with students on behavior and choices and things. That's a big bulk of my day over there. And I knew coming here that kids were going to be really great, and for the most part be making really good choices on a daily basis. And so I kind of thought, boy, if I don't have so much discipline to deal with, what am I going to do all day? But I have underestimated the busyness with all the other things that come being in this position. So I was a little surprised by that, I guess might be the right word. Just wasn't anticipating it, and I thought I was used to the busyness from Southeast, and thought it might slow down a little bit, but it's actually just continued. So, which isn't a bad thing either, but it's one of my biggest surprises. We're headed in a good direction. We got a lot of good things going. I'm excited about Dr. Kassabaum and his leadership, and getting to know him over the last 6 months or so, and the conversations and meetings that we've had. I think he's got a great vision for the school. He's got us in a really solid financial position, and I'm just excited to be a part of that. Student-wise, I see we have great kids in the building, and I just love seeing their talents and gifts on display in our various different activities and arenas and athletics and all those things. And so I'm just excited to continue to watch that grow. We've got a lot of things coming on this fall with the lights on the football field, the new stage drama, and so there's just a lot of great things happening here, and I'm excited to be a part of it and come alongside and see how I can help move it forward. So We have great academics, high academics, achievement data, ACT scores, those types of things support that. In addition to that, I would hope and think that if a parent is considering sending their child here, it's not just the academics they're looking for. And what makes us unique is the ability to intertwine biblical truths along with our curricular areas and help shape your student to have a biblical worldview to go along with the curriculum that we're trying to instruct them in math, reading, science, etc. And so if you want a life-changing education, you want your kids to be in a great environment, a very positive environment where you have adults that are going to hopefully reinforce the things you're trying to teach at home with your son or daughter, this is the place to come get that, and that'll be happening. So a lot of great things. I just add on to that too, the number of activities that we have and options for kids to be involved in extracurricular things, I think is outstanding. We have great support, we have great coaches and sponsors in those areas, and so your student, son or daughter, is going to get a pretty well-rounded education and have a lot of opportunity here, and something really unique they're not going to get in the public school is that biblical aspect. So,
welcome to Lincoln Christian School. My name is Dr. Cassabaum, and I am the superintendent. Our vision at Lincoln Christian is that every student will experience a life-changing Christian education that intentionally integrates the truth of the gospel into every aspect of intellectual, physical, social, and spiritual life. At the root of Lincoln Christian is our reliance on God's truth as we train and equip students through the work of the Holy Spirit to go out into the world and become transforming influences. Having been a school administrator in Nebraska for nearly 15 years, I am encouraged and inspired by the distinct culture at LCS, where students are known by name, individually loved and cared about, and families build meaningful and lasting relationships. Students are in an environment of academic excellence and spiritual and physical nourishment as they are trained in a biblical worldview. We understand that making decisions regarding your child's education is one of the most important decisions you will make as a parent. We'd love to help you learn more about our school family, how you can get involved, and what it would look like to send your child to Lincoln Christian. We are excited about what God is doing here and can't wait to meet you.
All right, we are back at Elkhorn South High School. It's 16 minutes to the state tournament for one of these teams. Lincoln Christian with an 11-point lead at halftime, 27-16. Crusaders led by a big second quarter from Ashton Carlson. He's got 13 in the game total. Justin Bubach has 8, and for Fort Calhoun, the two Schwartz brothers, Carson has 6 and Zane has 5. And again, there are 8 games to determine the teams that are going to make the C1 state tournament. Just 3 of those today. One of them is already over. Ogallala is in the state tournament. They beat Battle Creek this afternoon 76-51. And the other game going on right now is Wayne and Mitchell. Inside to Marshbanks, has it swatted away, and they're going to call a foul, though. And that is the 3rd foul on Zane Schwartz.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Too bad for Fort Calhoun, but a huge change and momentum swing for us.
And you think he probably thought that was a good risk to take. He was going to be able to swat the ball away and get a turnover, but McGear from the corner, ball knocked out of bounds, and that'll stay with Lincoln Christian, and they say it went off Schwartz, and I think that's a good call. From up here, it looked like that.
Seemed like it, yep.
Under the basket, inside to Marshbanks. McGear back out to Bubach. And off the glass and in. Nice move for Justin Bubach.
Yeah, so Fort Calhoun's got 2 starters in the game with 3 fouls right now. And, of course, with 7.5 minutes left to go in the third, attacking the rim like Justin just did is just the sort of thing you want to do.
And for Coach T.J. O'Connor, he leaves Schwartz out there with those 3 fouls. Missed shot there, and Bubach ends up with the rebound. And I suppose he figures with the score being what it is, he's got to take that chance.
That's exactly right. I was just going to say that.
And this time it'll be Gavin McGear who goes to the line. And let's see, that foul may be on, it's on Carson Schwartz. That's just his first foul, second team foul.
Yeah, again, with the season on the line, down 11, struggling to get some points as they have. I'd do the same thing. I'm leaving those guys with 3 fouls in the game.
McGear's got the first, and for Gavin, he's got 4 points now tonight. And a quick timeout for Coach T.J. O'Connor as the Crusaders have built their biggest lead of the night. They are now up 30-16. So again, we want to take this opportunity to thank the Lincoln Christian School Foundation for sponsoring our district finals on the Crusader Sports Network here on Strive TV. The foundation supports the students and families of Lincoln Christian by providing need-based education grants and strategic campus advancements. Each year, around 250 students, or 1 in every 3 students at Lincoln Christian, are there because of tuition assistance through that family education grant and through the foundation. You can make an impact in the hearts and minds of our students at LCS through giving monthly or making a one-time gift. All you have to do is text the word foundation to 402-488-8888. And again, thanks to the LCS Foundation for sponsoring tonight's broadcast.
That statistic that 1 in 3 students benefits somehow is one of my favorite stats about our school. That's incredible how much we come together and make it happen for each other.
And the Crusaders, again, looking on record enrollment this year, and next year we'll see where it goes. Could go up again, according to Dr. Zach Kassabaum. McGear made both his free throws, and now the Pioneers back on offense, and that's Zane Schwartz who plays with those 3 fouls. Here's Carson Schwartz. Back to Strauss. He tries the 3, and he hits it.
I might be wrong, but I think that's only his 2nd or 3rd made 3 all season, so we're going to be content with that, I think.
And a loose ball finally comes down to the Pioneers. On the other end, Crusaders quickly up, but they can't convert. Schwartz stops, and from behind, Carlson runs up there, and then Lincoln Christian throws it away.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's too bad. It was a great job at Easton just staying straight up. Ashton sort of made that shot get altered, and then it goes right into Easton's hands, and you want to be able to capitalize on a good defensive stop like that.
Ball out of bounds to Fort Calhoun. We played a minute and a half, and Lincoln Christian with a 12-point lead. They led by 11 at the break. That's Thurkildson, and he misses the shot, blocked out of bounds. Was that Marshbanks who got that?
I think it might have been. There were a couple hands there. Hard to say.
I guess in statistics you can get such a thing as a half a block, right? I think sometimes they will share a block, but or maybe I'm thinking football. You can get half a sack, right?
That's right, half a tackle.
Thurkildson launches a 3, no good, but that long rebound comes back out to the Pioneers.
You got to box out better. Those long rebounds are tough, but we could have done a better job getting the board there.
And Strauss goes right into Marshbanks, and they say out of bounds. It'll stay with Fort Calhoun.
I will say that if they're going to get back in this game, Strauss going to the rim against the 6'10" kid is exactly what we're wanting. So we'll take that matchup, and we got to weather it better and get the rebound and keep the ball in bounds and some of those kind of things.
That's Carson Schwartz with it, guarded by Buchelman. He's got it back again, steps in, puts one up from the free throw line, in and out, and Marshbanks with the rebound.
Good job contesting the shot and making that 17-footer a little easier or harder than it would be without it.
Bubach to Carlson, and he throws it up and over the basket. Just a little bit too open there, maybe. There goes Strauss again. Throws one up, an offensive rebound, and a putback, and that one is no good. Another putback, and finally a basket for Hilzendegger.
So once again, Strauss coming to the rim against Easton. That's what we're looking for, but we got to have other guys crashing those boards, boxing out, doing things to make sure they're not getting second opportunities right under the rim. And it's starting to get a little frustrating for players and fans with some of the no calls.
And that foul will go on Fort Calhoun. Both those guys going for the ball, and it's Strauss, and so that is his 4th foul. And he did a good job there. He was not happy with that call, but he came over and kind of expressed his anger toward his own bench and not toward the officials. So.
Right. Probably the best thing you can do as a young man. I get that you're inspired and fired up and want to do well for your team.
Lincoln Christian takes the timeout, and they lead by 10, and they'll have the ball out of the timeout. All the Class B district finals are done today on the boys' side, so we know the 8 teams going to state. And as I look down the list, I think there was I don't know that anybody won who was not the higher seed. Omaha Scott over Aurora. Hastings beat Crete today. Scotts Bluff over Waverly. That was an overtime game. Waverly drove all the way out to Scotts Bluff, and then they lost by 2 in overtime.
I saw that.
Wahoo beats Platteview 70-55. Alliance over Lexington. Elkhorn Mount Michael beats Grand Island Northwest. Omaha Roncalli over Beatrice. And Norris won a home game 50-42 over Bennington. So for the Norris Titans, both their boys and girls in the state tournament.
Yes, and makes me think of our end of the year matchup with them and how good of 2 games that was. I think we split. The girls lost to Norris, and our boys were able to beat Norris kind of at the buzzer last minute.
Right. Turnaround shot by Carlson, and that is off, and the rebound comes down to the Pioneers. Pioneers have outscored the Crusaders 5-4 here in this third quarter.
And there's the emotions are increasing and the tension is increasing and every call matters and every possession is important. We got to weather that storm well.
Bubach with the block, but then on the rebound, it's Harrison Schmidt just in the game, and he hits a three-pointer.
I'll tell you what, I've been impressed with the way Fort Calhoun has competed. They found ways to keep themselves in this thing and make us play their style of ball at times, and we just got to be composed and answer.
And Justin Bubach rolls one in, hits the front of the rim, and then climbs in.
Great shooter's touch, and that's what you got to do. You got to step up and make those shots, and that's what good players do in those critical moments.
And Justin has now tied Ashton with the team lead, 13 points apiece for the super senior duo. A nice spin move and a block by Buchelman, and then he saves it. Great job to stay with the ball by Drew Buchelman, and Bubach takes it all the way down and scores.
And as much as I've said Fort Calhoun has done a great job, I feel like our guys have also done a great job responding when they absolutely needed to. They had to make a statement in those last couple of possessions, and they did it.
And a nice play inside and an easy layup for Zane Schwartz. And the Pioneers back within 10. So we've gone back and forth here a little bit in this third quarter, but the Pioneers have only trimmed 1 point off the lead. Bubach for three from the corner, and that one will not drop.
Nice pass by Drew there.
Hilzendager with the rebound, quickly up ahead to Schmidt, and then he saves it into the third row of the bleachers.
Good effort.
Gunnar Dworick and Jonas Berger on the floor now for the Crusaders. Marshbanks and Buchelman take a seat on the bench.
Yeah, a few subs here after, I think, a pretty long stretch there without a whistle or a dead ball of any sort.
We're down to 2:50 to go here in the third. Just a little over 10 minutes till somebody qualifies for the C1 state tournament. From the elbow, Carlson hits it.
Great shot, especially with the confidence he's got in his shot tonight. That's a jumper we want him taking.
And of the 38 points now, 30 of them have come from Bubach and Carlson.
Which is a little unique. We haven't had it like that too much, especially lately, but we'll take it for tonight.
Zane Schwartz goes up between the defenders. Nice move, and he will have a chance for a three-point play.
Good job finding the seam, being patient. He didn't rush himself. He followed through cleanly.
Zane and Carson Schwartz brothers, and they're both sophomores, so I'm guessing they might be twins.
Yeah.
So regardless of what happens tonight, that's a good sign of things to come for Fort Calhoun with those two guys just sophomores.
Absolutely.
They're back within 9, and Bubach to the corner to Gunnar Dworick. No good, but the rebound, Bubach, it's going to go out of bounds, and they say to Fort Calhoun.
Hopefully everybody gets up here. That was a little bit ugly.
And that's Berger, who had that ankle sprain on Thursday night, but he's up and seems to be running okay down the floor.
Yeah, I think he fell down completely unrelated to that ankle, but you never know.
And Gage Holden is in, and Berger is going to go out. So and Gage is standing there asking, am I supposed to guard this tall guy down here? But they're going to put him on there for now. Hilzendager with it. Back to Carson Schwartz. And now Zane Schwartz with it. And Carlson knocks it away, and McGear picks it up.
Good team defense on the post right there. Way to work together.
And McGear has it blocked on the other end.
Nice block. Some good defense on both ends, coast to coast.
And Schwartz scores. That's a big turnaround, a 4-point turnaround. And it's 38-31. This is the closest Fort Calhoun has been in quite some time, and their crowd is all on their feet now. Carlson launches the three. Bubak high to get the rebound, though. He's got some hops in those feet.
He certainly does. Long rebounds are all his.
Over in the corner, Dworick. McGear now. Carlson in the near corner. Bubak from the elbow. Leaves that one short. And another rebound to Fort Calhoun in the last 40 seconds of this third quarter. And looks like Fort Calhoun may pull it back out. We'll see what they're going to do. Schwartz to Schwartz, and Zane has it.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be content to get the final shot, which I think is wise at this point.
This is a big possession for both teams. One team's either going to get a bucket or the other team's going to get a stop, so we'll see what happens. And that ball is stripped by McGear. And he is fouled. He misses the basket, but he'll go to the free throw line. Boy, Gavin has got some quickness.
He does.
You know what? I feel like you could match up Gavin and Allie Cordy on the girls' team, and I'm not sure who would outrun the other one. They are both pretty quick.
They have that ability to pull away, even with the ball in their hand. Yeah, the cross-country and track athlete and Gavin shows up right there for sure.
So Lincoln Christian got the stop on the other end. We'll see if they can get some points on this end. McGear makes the first basket. First point, I should say, on that free throw. And a good move there. Bring Justin Bubak out for these last 2.2 so he doesn't pick up a cheap foul.
Yep. And an extra 30 seconds of rest or so, which is valuable at this point.
That one is off. And the Pioneers will launch it. And that one hit the backboard, but it's no good. So meanwhile, the end of the third quarter, and Fort Calhoun has cut into that lead just a bit. Lincoln Christian leads it by 8. All right, here we go. It's 8 minutes to the state tournament now, and Fort Calhoun has the first possession. So they got to feel good. They've got it back to a single-digit game.
Yeah, absolutely. Going into the second half. Sorry, this is exactly where they wanted to be, in a position where it's just a couple possessions and a couple stops and a couple buckets gets them right in it. So we'll see what happens.
And it looks like the Crusaders have gone to a zone here.
Yeah, 2-3. I cannot recall the last time I saw us do this. So be interesting to see how long we stay with it. I mentioned 1-3-1 earlier in the night, and I would be I'm surprised to see this, I guess I should say.
Another long rebound comes down to the Pioneers in the corner and blocked by Bubak. A nice spin move, and he's got to go back outside with it. That was Thur Kildson.
Need to finish this possession defensively. Force a contested shot, get a box out, and get a board.
And there's a basket. That is Hilzendegger who scores. Really nice job by Fort Calhoun, being patient, getting the shot they wanted, and knocking it down. This is as close as it's been since early in the second quarter. Carlson to Buchelman for three from the corner. That one's going to be long. Marshbank secures the rebound. Great job by Easton to squeeze the orange there when he got that rebound.
Yeah, way to play strong.
And McGear is held there. That'd be a 10-yard holding call if we were playing football.
That's right. No doubt about that one. But Gavin's done a great job all night, getting himself within 6 feet of the rim and going up strong and forcing people to defend him. They've gotten a couple blocks, but he's been at the line a lot too.
And meanwhile, that is the fourth foul on Zane Schwartz. So Fort Calhoun's got two guys with 4 fouls apiece.
I'm never a huge fan of fouls really playing a huge factor like that, but that's the bottom line in this game. It's where it's going to go.
And McGear sinks both free throws, and Lincoln Christian back by 8. Crusaders have Marshbanks with 3 fouls, but nobody else with more than 1, so no foul trouble for LCS to worry about at this point.
And that might be the thing that really makes a difference in the final 4 or 5 minutes.
Carson Schwartz whips it back out, a 3 on the way, and that is good by Thurkildson. And it's 5 points.
Key for us is stay patient, but be aggressive. You can't get tentative.
Bubak from the elbow, that one is money. Usually 9.5 times out of 10, he's probably going to make that shot.
Yeah, he's pretty deadly from right there. Has that sweet touch way up in the air.
And a quick timeout by the Crusaders. So with that, we are actually, let's see, we'll keep it here. I'll give you the update on the our sponsor. Again, it's the Lincoln Christian School Foundation. They have sponsored all 6 of our postseason games this year. We appreciate that. And for those of you who are watching, don't realize this, we actually have to pay a fee to broadcast the postseason games. And so we appreciate the foundation picking up that cost so we can bring these games to you. Cornerstone is sponsored by the Lincoln Christian School Foundation. That's an automatic monthly giving program. You can sign up to have money deducted automatically from your credit card or your checking account. You can set it and forget it, as they say, and an opportunity to invest in the lives of the students at LCS and have a life-changing education for Lincoln Christian. We've got 146 people who give monthly as part of the Cornerstone program. If you'd like to participate, all you have to do is text the word foundation to 402-488-8888.
That Cornerstone program has really grown over the last several months, and Stacy Allison and a few others have really put a lot of effort into that, and it's been a great thing. God's really decided that's a way that we're going to grow some things at Lincoln Christian.
Out of the timeout, Fort Calhoun with the ball. They're down 7, and they call that foul on Gage Holen, but just the second team foul on Lincoln Christian.
You got to love Gage's willingness to go stick his nose in there, and it almost to the point that you feel like that might have been a point of emphasis in the huddle, and it is. He's face guarding, really wanting to make sure 21 doesn't get very many opportunities, and if they do, he earns every one of them.
LCS back to the man zone, or man defense, I should say, and there's Gage with the steal.
That's impressive by Gage there, coming off of that face guard technique to see that and scrape that away. That's great.
Quick hands by Gage results in the turnover, and then a really heads-up play that he knew he didn't have the numbers, so he held up and passed the ball off, and the Crusaders come down the court deliberately and set up this offensive possession. Carlson in the corner, back out to Holen, and Lincoln Christian gets bailed out a bit there. That was probably an ill-advised pass, trying to go in there with 2 defenders right on Bubak. But that foul goes on Zane Schwartz, and that is a huge foul for Fort Calhoun because he is gone, his 5th foul of the game.
Yeah, as a coach and a competitor, I feel bad for Fort Calhoun in that situation, but it is what it is, and it'll be interesting now to see how we adjust on defense because we were putting a very specific face guarding strategy into place there, so it'll be interesting to see what we do.
And he is their leading scorer. He had 11 points tonight, and he takes a seat on the bench for the last 5-13. Lincoln Christian knows what that is like. We up against Bishop Neumann last regular season game. Justin fouled out with about 4.5 minutes to go in a tight game, and we were able to hold on and win. Crusaders bring it back outside now. Carlson, and he is surrounded, but gets it over to Bubak, drives baseline, goes right around the defender, and lays it in off the glass.
Justin with a great drive there and awareness of how he can get to the rim, beating the defender. Good job.
And for the Pioneers, they're going to take a quick timeout, so we are going to do the same. We'll be back in just a bit.
Lincoln Christian School family, this is Kurt Earl, head football coach and activities director, and I just want to thank you for supporting Crusader activities and for tuning in to the Crusader Sports Network today, and just can't say enough about how much I appreciate you guys and all that you do to make this school happen. God bless, and to God be the glory.
Sportsmanship is vital to every team member in their success on their team.
Sportsmanship isn't something that's just limited to expressing within your own team. It's important to positively interact with not only your competitors, but their fan base as well. How you react and represent your team reflects your school's character.
Sportsmanship goes way further than the field. It starts by pride in themselves and respect towards others.
We're back here. We've got 4 minutes and 48 seconds to go in this district final, Class C1. The winner goes to the state tournament, and the loser goes home, and the winner has a long break. It's about 12 days before the boys' state tournament starts, and again, I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. As a coach, you got to kind of manage your team during that period. You don't want them to get stale, obviously.
Manage was exactly the word I was going to use. Yeah, you've got to have a very specific strategy. You're going to want to condition and work hard next week and taper into that state tournament. So yeah, there's a lot to be done as a coach.
And follow through in a basket by Grant Halford. He stuck with it, missed the first shot, but scores on the putback, and it's a 7-point game.
Down to 7, and we certainly have ourselves a game here. The way things have gone, that could close or go, widen quickly.
Carlson. Now McGear cross court to Buchelman, and back the other way to McGear. Bubak, that looks like a carbon copy of what he did the last time around, except he misses the basket, and they're going to call an offensive foul, a charge on Justin Bubak.
That's a tough one. I'm not sure that he was in position, and nor was there strong enough contact. But it is what it is. You got to move forward and handle this next possession.
In this second half, Fort Calhoun has gotten within 5 once, and they have a chance to get within 5 or 4 if they would hit a 3 on this possession. Exactly halfway through the fourth quarter. I'm kind of surprised Schwartz didn't shoot that. He was wide open at the free throw line.
Yeah, it seemed like an easy one to knock down. No reason not to. He's got the green light. You know he does.
And he double clutches to try to avoid the block. And Holland on the floor going for the ball. Still loose, and then a foul. And that is going to go on the Crusaders. I believe it's on McGear. He gets up a little slow. I think he's the one they call the foul on.
Looks like number 23 for Fort Calhoun is still on the floor.
So Gavin McGear picks up his first foul. And you know what? We're going to take a quick break here while they attend to the injured player for Fort Calhoun, and we'll be right back.
Cornerstone is a way for you to join with the foundation in prayer and monthly giving, and it's a way for you to invest in students, families, and Lincoln Christian School. Cornerstone started a couple of years ago, and we're excited that we have many people participating in giving monthly and praying with us every month. We're looking for more people always to become a part of giving monthly to the Cornerstone Foundation. You can go online at any time.
So Thurkildson got up okay. Looked like he hit his head pretty hard on the floor, so we'll see if he can come back in the game. And they get it in finally to Strauss. He plays with 4 fouls. And that's Schmidt with it. Now back outside to Schwartz. Schwartz uses the screen, goes up, draws contact, and he will shoot free throws. Who are we going to call that on? Let's see. That goes on Gage Holland, so Gage picks up his third.
He's got a fair number of fouls per minute at this point.
Yeah.
He's working hard. He's been given some special assignments, too. I mean, it's just part of what they've got him doing tonight.
So Carson Schwartz, the sophomore, makes the first free throw.
The key down the stretch here is going to be weathering some of these no-call situations. The officials are letting a lot go and weathering it mentally and spiritually. I mean, it is tough, and it's a battle, and it's not so much physical at this point.
Just 1 for 2 for Schwartz, so it's a 6-point Crusader lead as we get down close to the 3-minute mark. And McGear's got to get it across the timeline, and he doesn't. That doesn't make sense. There were 3:19 on the clock during that free throw, and now it's 3:12.
You're right. There's a number of there's the number of calls that make you kind of go are growing, and that's the real challenge at this point for our guys.
So off the turnover, Fort Calhoun has it. The Crusaders have got to put it behind them and just play solid defense here. Schwartz to Smith, and then a turnover. So it works out, I guess, for the Crusaders on that.
Although they had a guy wide open. One of the things we're struggling with a little bit right now is when our guy doesn't have the ball and he's 2 passes away, we're losing sight of him. And we're seeing the ball, but we're not seeing our guy, and we've got to do a better job with that to finish out.
Bubak now back to Dworak. You've got McGear, Bubak, Dworak, Carlson, and Holden on the floor. Double clutch by Bubak. I don't know how that ball went in the basket. It got blocked, and it still went in.
And it hit almost felt like it hit the bottom or the side of the rim and found a way to roll over. I think one of the things, even when Justin was a freshman or sophomore, that impressed me was his ability to be soft with the ball while going through a block, and that was a good example of that.
And Lincoln Christian with an 8-point lead. Bubak will try to extend that, and it's going to probably come down to hitting free throws down the stretch for Lincoln Christian.
Good clean stroke there. That barely hit the net. Oh.
That's Schwartz with it now. Gets it inside. Poked away by McGear. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Pioneers. And, Fort Calhoun, they come in hot. They're 16-8 on the season, but they're 7 of their last 8 that they've won coming into this game. So, again, they've got plenty of confidence.
That's right. And they're just a scrappy, competitive group. I really appreciate that about them. They just find a way to keep themselves in it.
And a foul from behind on Buchelman, and that'll send Tyler Strauss to the free throw line. For Drew, that'll be two personals and 6 team fouls here in the second half on the Crusaders. And again, when you got the lead, you don't want to let the other team be making points when the clock's not running.
Right.
And that one climbs over the top of the front of the rim and in. So no quit for the Pioneers. They're hanging right in there. They were down by 11 at halftime. They've gotten within 5 here in the second half. And that one drops in.
The importance of backspin on that one. That's going to be 4, I believe. 5.
So that goes on Schmidt. And he fouls out of the game. Or not Schmidt, on Strauss.
Yes. He is a tremendous competitor. I can tell just watching him. He plays with some intensity. He picked up a couple fouls that were just effort fouls. That one was 2, really, and so too bad to see him out, but another big change of opportunity here for us.
He is a senior, so depending on what happens, he may have played his last high school basketball for the Pioneers.
Yeah, too bad for him to miss minutes because of foul trouble, especially because, like I said, a couple of them for sure were just effort things, nothing you'd ever coach him out of, that's for sure.
1-on-1 for Gavin McGear, and he leaves it short, but Bubak sneaks in there, gets the rebound and the putback.
First half, Ashton had some really critical buckets. This half, it's really been Justin on a number of possessions.
And on the defensive end, Bubak with the rebound up to Carlson. And Bubak missed the shot, and then Carlson missed the shot, and the putback missed by Bubak. And on the other end, Dworak will pick up the foul, and Carson Schwartz goes to the line.
So I think it might have been intentional on this end, and I can't imagine Coach Nunley's too excited about that, but they'll handle that at a later date.
Yeah, I wondered, trying to bounce it off the backboard and let Justin come in and slam it, right?
I think that was the plan.
That is just the first foul on Gunnar Dworak, but both teams in the bonus now. And the second one is good, so it's down to an 8-point game.
You know, 30 seconds ago on the clock, I thought we were about to seal this thing up. And Fort Calhoun, I'm just impressed with their competitiveness and their battle, and they're just getting back in it all the time.
And Dworak is fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. A little bit too strong with the shot, but he'll have 2 free throws coming up. And you got on that possession, you got to give some credit to Gunnar Dworak because he was almost double teamed right out by the timeline, but was able to get the pass down in the corner and then into Bubak.
Right. Yeah, he was almost in the spot you cannot end up when they're trying to trap, but he handled it well.
And Justin leaves that one a little short.
This is a big free throw. 3 3-pointers is different
yeah.
than only 2 3-pointers needed. There it is. That's an important one with 1:41 to go.
And for Justin Bubak, he's got 10 points in this fourth quarter and 25 for the game now. Good defense by Holland. He knocks it away.
Yeah, good job getting his feet around in order to tip it away with his hand. Good footwork.
Fort Calhoun will inbound under the basket. They get it into Hilzendager. And now Schwartz. And that ball is stolen. Passed a little bit beside the receiver, Schmidt. And was that Buchelman who reached in and grabbed it,
I think it went to Gunnar.
Oh, Gunnar, yeah, you're right, it was. It was number 10 on number 10, and Dworak ends up with the steal.
So really important possession. Yep, I was going to say they're either going to have to start fouling or get a turnover quick.
And this is where we start talking about should there be a shot clock in high school basketball, right?
Yes. And my brother, who coached in college, would say yes, absolutely, and I kind of tend to say go play some defense.
Yeah.
So both guys who grew up in the gym and kind of have different opinions about it. So it's a fun topic to talk about.
And Gunnar Dworak with just his first point of the game, but it's a big one. And this makes it an 11-point lead for Lincoln Christian.
Yeah, good for Gunnar, scoring two points here in the last minute 11 that are really important.
Holland goes to the bench. Lincoln Christian plays with Carlson, Bubak, McGear, Dworak, and Buchelman. And that's Schmidt with it. Or I'm sorry, that was Thurkildson, but he missed the shot, and the rebound comes down to the Crusaders, and they can feel this one now, and there's a turnover. The Pioneers aren't done yet. And that's Schmidt with it. Gets it over to Thurkildson, a long three, and he nails it.
He's kind of got a set shot that's a little bit old school, but he's knocked a few down. Got to respect it.
2 big threes in this quarter for Caden Thurkildson, and the Crusaders by 8, 40.7 seconds to go. And again, hang on after the game. We will stay with you. If the Crusaders win this game, we'll watch the plaque presentation and then watch them cut down the nets. That's kind of a fun experience. And for the LCS fans, it might be 2 nights in a row to get to watch that.
Yeah, it's a pretty incredible opportunity, and you don't get that too often where both teams are in the district final like this. It's been fun. I think last night between the players, the cheerleaders, the band, student section, we had close to 130 or 140 of our 210 high school students in the gym. That's pretty fun.
For Lincoln Christian, if they can make it to state, it will be their 16th appearance in the first in 2 years. We were there in 2018, finished 3rd. For Fort Calhoun, it would be their first trip in 97 years if they would win tonight.
Yeah.
1923, their last visit. They actually went 3 years in a row, 21, 22, and 23, and they won the Class N state championship in 1923.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Class N.
Well, it's young. It's older than I am. And we were talking, too, the game of basketball itself was about 30 years old.
Right.
I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but
I don't think they had a three-point shot back then, did they?
No, they I don't know if they had a free throw line hardly. Yeah, it was very different.
And the foul goes on Thurkildson, and that'll put Gavin McGear at the free throw line. So another thing, again, some of the district finals going on today in other classes. I wanted to hit one in Class D2. The 2 schools the farthest apart in the state of Nebraska played each other today. Sioux County, which is in Harrison, Nebraska, up in the northwest corner of the Panhandle. McGear makes the first free throw, and they played Falls City Sacred Heart, and they are like almost 600 miles apart. And I think that's where there's a pro argument for the neutral side here, because they met about halfway in between at Cozad, which is almost 300 miles from each school.
Yeah. Hard for me to imagine Cozad's halfway to anywhere, but when you stretch it out that way, that's about right.
And there's a turnover, and Gavin McGear has it. And he is fouled. He was about to lose the possession there, but the foul goes on the Pioneers. He'll be back at the free throw line. So that game today, and by the way, it was earlier this afternoon, and the final was 81-27. Falls City Sacred Heart won the game. So
interesting.
That makes that 300-mile bus ride home a little tough for Sioux County.
Yes.
But somebody looked this up, and Harrison, Nebraska, Sioux County, is closer to Salt Lake City, Utah, than it is to Falls City, Nebraska.
I was going to say, I grew up in Colorado. I know it's closer to Denver.
And Falls City is closer to Memphis, Tennessee, than it is
That's
to
hilarious.
Harrison, Nebraska.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And all of that is part of why it's so fun that we still, as a state, have everyone converge basically to one city and one site and one location. A lot of states have lost that, but we still do it, and that's all part of the story.
And Colby Schluckabeer, the third senior, gets in the game tonight, and Colby's been giving us some quality minutes off and on throughout the season, so it's nice to see him be able to get in and play this last half minute of the game. And Bubach and Carlson, the other two seniors, go out. Ethan Barrier in for the first time, and Berger is back in as well. So a nice round of applause from the LCS fans for our senior players.
Yeah, great job by Coach Nunnally and other staff to make sure all three seniors get recognized in this moment, kind of have their chance to be applauded. That was great.
57-45, that's the exact score that Fort Calhoun beat Boys Town by on Thursday night, and they're on the bottom end of that right now. They're down by 12 in the last 15 seconds, so Lincoln Christian is going to win it and be back at state. Ball out of bounds. It'll go to LCS. The Crusaders, again, as we said, finished third in the state tournament 2 years ago. Last year, a tough break. We lost in that sub-district final against Ashland Greenwood. Didn't have enough wildcard points to get into the district final, so I know that was a real tough way to end the season last year. And this is a nice way to end the district action. It'll be a win for Lincoln Christian, and they will be headed to state. And again, we'll hang with you here, and we'll have the plaque presentations and have them cutting down the nets as well. So stick with us, and we'll watch that action coming up in just a bit. So Lincoln Christian is headed back to the state tournament for the first time in a couple of years. They win it 57-45 over the Fort Calhoun Pioneers tonight here at Elkhorn South in the C1 district final. We'll take a look at our scoring for the night while you watch the Crusaders cut down the net. For Fort Calhoun, Harrison Schmidt finished with 3 points, 6 for Caden Thurkildson. For Tyler Strauss, he finished with 8 tonight, 11 for Zane Schwartz. Grant Hilzendegger with 6, 2 for Grant Halford, 8 tonight for Carson Schwartz. And for the Crusaders, I think I've got all the points here. We'll see. Unofficially, we've got 3 for Drew Buchelman, 2 tonight for Gunnar Dworak, 15 for Ashton Carlson, 25 for Justin Bubach, including 10 points in that crucial fourth quarter, and 12 tonight for Gavin McGear. So the Crusaders finished tonight with 3 teams in double figures. And they, again, are going to the state tournament. They don't know yet who they're going to play. They won't know that until after Tuesday night, because we've got some other games going on. One other game final today that we know of in Class C1. Ogallala beat Battle Creek 76-51. So Ogallala is in the state tournament, second year in a row. And the other game going on today, which I don't have a score on, Wayne and Mitchell were playing each other out in Lexington. And then the other games in Class C1 on Monday night, Auburn, the number 2 seed, they will take on David City Aquinas. That game will be played at Waverly. On Monday night, Bishop Neumann and Kearney Catholic, 2 Centennial Conference teams, will be battling out at York High School. Also, and then on Tuesday night, you've got Adams Central, the number 1 seed. They're going to take on O'Neill at Central Valley. Chase County and Ashland Greenwood will play in Minden. And also Tuesday night, North Bend Central, the 4 seed, they go up against St. Paul, and that game played in Stromsburg at Cross County High School. Some of the other Centennial Conference teams still in action over in C2. You've got Grand Island Central Catholic. They are the 1 seed, and they're going to take on Ainsworth. That game on Monday night in O'Neill. And also, that may be it. Let's see. Other schools that LCS faced in the regular season, you've got Norris. They're already in. They won earlier today, 50-42 over Bennington. Sutton, who beat LCS back in December, they will play on Monday night against Oakland Craig. And Waverly, who Lincoln Christian beat in the holiday tournament, they they lost, I should say, in overtime this afternoon to Scottsbluff, so they will not be at state. Noah Arnsdorf, the LCS manager, gets to take the last snip, and they're going to take the ladder down to the other end and give them a chance to cut down the nets on this end. Apparently, they've only got 1 step ladder here at Elkhorn South. So again, we thank you for watching all season long. This will be our last broadcast. The state tournament games for both the boys and the girls, those first round games are going to be on they're going to be on the News Channel Nebraska channel. That is on most cable systems here in Nebraska at least. And go to their website, which is newschannelnebraska.com, and they have a channel finder. So I know in Lincoln, if you get Spectrum TV, you can see it on the Channel 98 on Spectrum TV in Lincoln. So if you can't come out to the games, you can watch it on News Channel Nebraska. But we want you there on Thursday morning, bright and early, 9 a.m. from the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Lincoln Christian will take on Malcolm, a rematch of the girls' sub-district final, which took place a week ago Thursday night. Lincoln Christian won that one by 9. And Justin Bubach up there snipping the net down on this end is now. Lincoln Christian boys, not sure what time we'll play. It depends on, again, where the final seeding is and if there are any upsets. If all the higher seeded teams would win, Lincoln Christian likely would be the 3 seed, and that would put them in the afternoon game, the 3:45 game on Thursday afternoon, a week from Thursday. So the Crusaders win it tonight, 57-45 over the Fort Calhoun Pioneers, and that'll be a championship, a district championship, but still more work to be done. 3 wins away from a state championship. You got to take them one at a time. It's a great Class C this year. And some great teams in there. North Bend Central, Auburn, Adams Central, Lincoln Christian, the top 4. So any one of those teams could win the state championship this year. It's going to be a great couple of weeks of basketball. Girls state championship coming up this week, and then the boys the following week. So I'm Keith Miles. Thanks to Kurt Earl, who joined us on the broadcast today, and for all of the folks who have helped us throughout the season. It's been a great year for LCS basketball. Lincoln Christian boys moved to 21-4, headed to the state tournament. The Lincoln Christian girls 21-3. So some fun times ahead for both those teams. And again, thanks for watching us all year long here on the Crusader Sports Network on Strive TV. Have a great night.